Alright folks, here is a short video of my rather messy reloading bench. Over here we have the venerable and ancient Rock Chucker press. That's old. I think that thing's probably older than I am. And of course we got the primer bucket underneath here. This is a little modification I made to this primer catcher that bored a hole in there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a hole in there so that the primers fall into this funnel and then down into the bucket. But I don't use this for depriming anymore. I've moved on to this 4-hole turret press and a universal decapper for that. But I just wanted to show you a few of the little modifications I do to stuff. Nothing really big, but I got this, this is one of those hands-free magnifiers a lot of people use for different stuff. Well, I clipped it on there with one of these binder clips so that it's, when I need to look at a case and see if it looks ugly or something, I can. So that works pretty good. I really like these LED lights. Got those bunch of those off Amazon pretty cheap. And I don't know what else to say. I got, yeah, you can laugh. I use Tulamo primers. They work pretty good. I haven't had a failure with those. I actually use white box ones too. They're just as good. But anyway, this is a little trick if you got these turrets populated. They're a little awkward to store. You don't want to set them down on something hard and break that pin off. So if you set them in these old ammo blocks, they stay there and they don't, that's a halfway decent way to organize them. I actually use these things. Well, that's a bulge buster kit, but same difference. Anyway, this is that Brass Smith powder measure that a lot of people have liked so much. This one's been modified a couple of ways. I put this knob on here so I could get a little more torque on the connecting, that part that keeps it from rotating, slop around on the I don't know what you call it, the mount. And of course I took mine and took this this hopper is off of my Lee Perfect powder measure. I love it because it's got an on-off, you know. I'm doing this with one hand. You can rotate that red part, holding the black part, it shuts it off like a valve. And so I took this little donut in here. So I recall now it's a little difficult to get out. Hang on, kids. We'll get it. Alright, pop that up out of there. Just made that out of a polyethylene cutting board. Just cut it with a hole saw and then bored it out, and it just fits down in there. This is the original. And a lot of complaints from people about how this hopper for this sucked. So I just made this so this works. Slap that, oh there we go, let's knock things apart. Anyway, pop that in there nice and firmly, stick that in, fill it with powder, and it's full of powder. You can open it up, it runs down in there. This is a great powder measure. Absolutely dead nuts on whenever I use it. So there you go, there's that. And the old RCBS measure, which I lost a pan for eons ago. I made this out of a butane cylinder, little tiny butane cylinder, aluminum, and a little piece of copper to get the weight right. It works good. I mean, this thing is absolutely insane how accurate the beams are. And then this is one of those wows. Everybody like those. I like this. It's accurate. This is like the worst video ever. I get it, but there you go. And been working a lot with CFE pistol. I love these ammo blocks. I pick them up out of the trash at the range because they're so handy. I know. Yeah, I wash my hands after, of course. So, not what else I was going to show you. Not much to show. Got a bunch of just a filthy old dirty bench, and this was in the house when we bought it. And okay, here we go, all kinds of stuff going on. And this is my current project. I probably got 500, 300 blackout. I'm getting worked up, ready to start doing some load development when I decide on an actual cartridge. So I was going to show folks how hold on, I'm going to stop. I'm going to show you what I do when I load, when I'm processing cases. When I want to get some, I want to size, I decap with a universal decapper. But sometimes, well, I always actually, I always run them through a sizer and load them, or prime them, and then put a little flare on the case mount. That's the next step I do in the four-hole turret. But this is something I think a lot of people don't really understand, is that this case lube thing doesn't have to be a big pain in the rear like a lot of people seem to can make it. I just take a bunch of this big value. I think this is a gallon and a half, doesn't matter, you can use a pint, quart, whatever you got. And this stuff, this is the magic juice, I call it case lube. It's, I got some like lanolin paste. I ended up with like good amount of it. But all you need is, you don't have to listen to all the bull on the internet about you got to use methanol and stuff. All you need is the highest concentration of rubbing alcohol you can find. I think you can get it up to like 80% or something, because it really can't get alcohol at 100%. As soon as it's made, it starts absorbing water, and so it never gets 100% alcohol, or at least this rubbing alcohol. So you take a container like this and you put say a couple tablespoons of, I use a paste stuff. It's USP in a tub. It was insanely expensive. But anyway, the point being is you just put a big gob of it in here and fill this with whatever alcohol you have. And you keep shaking it, and as long as there's undissolved lanolin in here, you've got the right amount of mix, because you can only dissolve so much lanolin in this alcohol. And you know the ratio is make like it's a big deal, but it really isn't. Just get some lanolin. So if this alcohol is saturated with lanolin, that's right. But you take this after you get it all mixed up, and as you'll see in this one, there's stuff stuck to it. Now that lets me know that I haven't used up the lanolin, because I started this with a couple tablespoons of lanolin, and I've just been adding alcohol as the level goes down. Works great. Shake it up good. Doesn't have to be completely shaken up. You keep it up, shook up good. About 50, 100, I put probably 500 cases in there, dude. Keep it shaking, put this in and give her a few spritzes, 3, 4, 5, something. Doesn't take many. I've been using this wet inside with lanolin already. And zipper shut. I'll end up with a mess. Use it in the other end so it doesn't always come out of the zipper. Those are pretty much coated now. And then I just leave it sit with the thing open like that, let the alcohol evaporate out of it. And that's it.